Hello everyone, I am Tianshu Bao, come from Guizhou University in China. In this video, I share our tool, RM2Doc, a tool for automatic generation of requirements documents from requirements models. This presentation consists of 5 sections. First is the motivation for our tool, then the overview of RM2Doc, the document generation, and the evaluation. The last is the conclusion. The first part is the motivation. This part includes the motivation of our tool, the related tools, and the contribution of our tool. First, we compare two representations of requirements, model and document. Although models can accurately capture requirements, they cannot be read directly by non-specialists. Requirements document written in natural language can help stakeholders understand the model and facilitate communication between stakeholders and developers. Requirements documents can help to understand the requirements model. However, in practice, many developers ignore the importance of documents and only model requirements without writing requirements documents or write them in a casual manner. Even if the documents are created at the beginning of modeling, as requirements change and models are refined, the inconsistencies between models and documents becomes more and more pronounced. In addition, manual writing of requirements documentation is a tedious task that requires considerable effort. For these problems, automatic generation of requirements documents from the requirements model is a good solution. It is very desirable to have an approach and a case tool that can automatically generate requirements documents directly from requirements models. The existing related tools have 3 disadvantages. First, the content in the document they generate relies too much on the natural language descriptions that come with the model. Second, most tools require a template for documentation. Some templates are quite complex to produce, and for the novice this can be costly. Finally, they do not include the handling of OCL, which is a complement to UML. We introduce a case tool RM2Doc for generating requirements document from requirements models automatically. RM2Doc can generate well-structured documents without additional templates from the user. RM2Doc can generate natural language from the model. Example, a flow of a use case can be generated from the system sequence diagram of the use case. RM2Doc can also translate the preconditions and postconditions of system operations into natural language. This is the overview of RM2Doc. RM2Doc takes the requirements model as input and generates a well-structured requirements document. The requirements model consists of 2 parts. One is UML diagrams, containing a use case diagram, system sequence diagrams, and a conceptual class diagram. The other is OCL contracts of system operations. Our method has 3 steps. Firstly, generate natural language from UML diagrams based on STEN templates. Secondly, translate OCL contracts to natural language by applying our transformation rules. Finally, format all natural language obtained in the first 2 steps to form a requirements document. A part of the COCOME requirements model is shown here. The use case diagram describes the main functions of the target system. The system sequence diagram describes the process of the use case. It contains the system, the participants interacting with the system events generated by the participants, and their sequences. The contract of system operation specifies the states that the system is assumed to satisfy before the system operation is executed, called preconditions, and the states that the system is required to satisfy after the system operation is executed, called postconditions. A conceptual class diagram is a concept relation model which illustrates abstract and meaningful concepts and their relations in the problem domain, in which the concepts are specified as classes. The relations of the concepts are specified as the associations between the classes, and the properties of the concepts are specified as the attributes of the classes. RM2Doc has two main features. The first is generating operations description from the contracts of system operations, and the second is generating requirements document from requirements model. In this section, I use RequirementsDocuments as an example to show the generation of RM2Doc. First is the generation of the operation description. The left side shows the OCL contract for the system operation enter item. On the right is the natural language description obtained from the translation of the operation contract by RM2Doc. We can see that the OCL expressions in the definition, precondition, and postcondition of the contract are translated into natural language. This is part of the requirements document generated by the RequirementsDocuments requirements model. It consists of 5 different sections: product functions, user characteristics, use case description, system operation description, and entity analysis. The product functions and user characteristics are generated by the use case diagram. The information of 16 use cases is presented in product functions, and the information of 3 participants is presented in user characteristics. The use case description is generated from the use case diagram and the system sequence diagram of the use case. The use case diagram generates the basic information of the use case, and the system sequence diagram generates the flow description of the use case. The system operation description is generated by the contract of system operation. In the generated system operation description, we can see the name, ID, service, input, output type, definition, preconditions, and postconditions of the system operation. Entity analysis is generated from conceptual class diagrams. The analysis of an entity includes the name, ID, description, and its attributes and association information. This section describes the evaluation of our tools. The evaluation was conducted in 4 case studies. Those case studies are widely used systems in our daily life: automated teller machine, supermarket system, library management system, and loan processing system. The complexity of those requirements models are shown in Table 1, which totally contains 17 actors, 51 use cases, 6 system sequence diagrams, 138 system operations, 38 entity classes, and 49 associations of entity classes. For the OCL contracts, the results of system operations are shown in Table 2. 133 of 138 system operations can be modeled correctly, and 130 of the 133 can generate semantic descriptions correctly. Therefore, the total success rate is 130 divided by 138, and the result is 95.02%. For the generation of UML diagram results, 17 actors, 51 use cases, 6 system sequence diagrams, 38 entity classes, and 49 associations of entity classes were all generated correctly. Generation for all 4 case studies spend less than 1 second. We presents a case tool to automated requirements document generation from a requirements model. The generated requirements document helps the stakeholders to perform requirements validation. For case studies evaluated the capability of RM2Doc. In the future, we will make some improvements to make our tools more useful. For example, we plan use deep learning to generate more flexible and more readable nature language from requirements model. Tools can be downloaded from our website. In addition, we uploaded a demo video on YouTube. That's all. Thanks.